Thank you.
Goodbye.
Oh, this is the best house in Camden Place, Anne. There's no doubt about it.
You were very clever to find it.
Well, Penelope helped me look, you know.
How good it is to have you with your family again, Miss Anne.
Thank you.
Yes, it'll be very agreeable to have a fourth when we dine. I just like to sit down with only three.
Everybody wants to call on us. We've had to decline all sorts of invitations, but people we know nothing about at all will keep leaving their cards.
Well, it's not so extraordinary that people should want to know us, Elizabeth.
Oh, indeed, not so, Walter.
I dare say we're much missed in the country, Anne.
Well, everyone's been so concerned about Louisa Musgrove, you know.
Yes, you did tell us. How are Charles and Mary and the children?
They're all very well. They send you their best wishes.
How kind. Oh, Anne, do look. Isn't it spacious?
Very.
They're the best drawing rooms we've seen in the whole of Bath. And look how they're furnished.
They're beautiful, Elizabeth. Beautiful.
Yes, we're quite pleased. I dare say you've heard about how we met Mr. Elliot, Anne, my heir.
Oh, yes, Mary told me.
Oh, we like him so much. He's been here about a fortnight now.
He was here for 24 hours in November, as a matter of fact. That's when he found out we were here. Of course, he didn't have time to call then.
Oh, of course not. But we see a great deal of him now, Anne. Everything is forgiven and forgotten.
But what about his marriage?
Well, we haven't spoken directly to him about it, of course, but, well, a great friend of his, Colonel Wallace, has explained everything.
A highly respectable man, Colonel Wallace, and not ill-looking. Fine military figure. Oh, he's sandy-haired, I'm sorry to say.
Oh, he's a perfect gentleman. He lives in Marlborough Buildings in very good style. He particularly asked Mr. Elliot if he might be introduced to us.
Oh?
Yes, and then he explained the whole story. Mr. Elliot's wife was not from any good family, it's true, but it seems she was very well educated and accomplished, and very much in love with him.
Yes, there was the charm, you see. She sought him, and I was sure she was a very fine-looking woman.
With a large fortune. Oh, not that her money had tempted him, of course.
No, she was in love with him. That explains everything.
Does it?
Well, it's certainly an extenuation, Anne. It explains a great deal. Oh, he's called here so often. We asked him to dine one evening. He was delighted by that. We don't usually give dinner parties, you know.
No.
No, that's why he was so particularly pleased to be asked. He really does value his connection with us immensely.
Oh, yes, Miss Elliot. He values it very highly indeed.
I saw him at Lyme, you know, without realizing who he was.
Oh, yes, you did mention it. Perhaps it was him. I really don't know.
It might have been him, I suppose.
Oh, yes, it was. There's no doubt about it.
Perhaps. He has a very gentlemanly appearance. A great air of elegance and fashion. Good-shaped face. A sensible eye. But I'm sorry to say he's very much underhung about the jaw. Even more so than when we last saw him.
Dear me.
Yes, I can't pretend that 10 years haven't altered almost every one of his features for the worse.
But Mr. Elliot thought your father hadn't changed at all, Miss Anne.
Yes, he did. I was embarrassed not to be able to return the compliment. However, I don't mean to complain. He's much better looking than most men. I've no objection to being seen with him anywhere.
Colonel Wallace is very agreeable, too. Oh, he was so anxious to meet us.
Is there a Mrs. Wallace?
Well, yes, but her confinement is due any day now. We're to meet her when she's recovered. Mr. Elliot says she's a most charming woman.
And extremely pretty, even beautiful. Oh, I long to see her. She may make up for the great many plain faces I'm continually passing in the streets.
Are they so very bad, Father?
The worst thing about Bath is the number of plain women, Anne. Oh, I don't mean there are no pretty ones, of course. But the number of plain ones is out of all proportion.
I hope the men are better.
The men? Oh, they're infinitely worse. The streets are full of nothing but scarecrows.
Dear me.
Oh, I'm afraid it's obvious how little the women are used to the sight of tolerable looks. A man of decent appearance produces a very great effect. I've never walked anywhere arm in arm with Colonel Wallace without observing that every woman's eyes were on him.
Oh, Father, you know very well they weren't looking at him.
Colonel Wallace was not alone, I think.
Well, it may be. How's Mary looking? Last time I saw her, she had a red nose. I hope that doesn't happen every day.
Oh, no, that must have been bad luck. She's been looking very well since you left.
If I thought it wouldn't tempt her to go out in sharp winds and go coarse, I'd send her a new hat and pelisse.
Well, perhaps a gown wouldn't be quite so dangerous, Father.
Oh, Wasn't that a knock?
It's 10 o'clock. Who could it be?
Well, Mr. Elliot was dining in Lansdowne Crescent. Do you think it might be him?
Oh, I do hope so.
I think it did sound like his knock.
Mr. Elliot. Good evening, Sir Walter.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Miss Elliot, I'm sorry to call on you at such an unusual hour, but I couldn't pass by without making quite sure that neither you nor your friend caught cold yesterday. It was so very wet.
How very kind of you, sir, but no, we're both quite well, thank you.
Oh, yes, indeed, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Elliot must give me leave to present him to my youngest daughter.
How do you do, sir?
But I know her already, Sir Walter, in all but name. Surely you were at Lyme this autumn?
Yes, I was.
Then I must beg you to accept me as an old acquaintance.
Oh, so it was Mr. Elliot you saw, Anne.
What, did you know who I was?
Oh, not until after you'd gone, I'm afraid.
Well, what an extraordinary coincidence. We were at the same inn, Sir Walter, without either of us knowing it.
Very unusual.
And to make it stranger still, the evening of the day I saw you in Lyme, I learned here in Bath that your father and sister had settled here.
Well, that is odd, I must say.
I do regret missing the chance to pay my respects to you.
Oh, and my other sister, Mrs. Musgrove, was there too. We'd all come over from Uppercross.
Oh, I knew you were a party. I spent a solitary evening in the next room listening to you all. You sounded very merry. I thought you must be the most delightful people in the world. I longed to be with you.
Well, that evening we were merry.
I didn't have the slightest suspicion. If only I'd asked who you were, the name Musgrove would have told me all I needed to know. But you said you were merry that evening. I hope nothing happened to make you anything else.
Oh, yes, I'm afraid it did. Louisa Musgrove fell down some steps on the cob. She's still not fully recovered.
Dreadful.
Oh, Anne, Mr. Elliot doesn't want to hear about Louisa's accident. Tell us about your dinner party. Who was there?
You must tell me about it some other time. I can see that I must play the gossip now.
La casa que mi padre había tomado en Camden Place tenía una situación soberbia y majestuosa, cual correspondía a una persona de su importancia. Tanto él como mi hermana Isabel se hallaban muy satisfechos de su instalación. Yo hice mi entrada con el corazón sobrecogido por la tristeza. Presentía una reclusión de muchos meses y sobre todo sabía o temía que si mi salida de Uppercross no era definitiva, si lo era en cambio el adiós a Michael Thrane, al que sería muy extraño que volviera a ver.
La verdad es que no te hemos dejado decir palabra, hablándote de las implicaciones de las instalaciones de la casa. Vamos a ver, ¿cómo está María? La última vez que la vi, le noté la nariz arrebolada.
Sería una cosa pasajera. Su aspecto es inmejorable.
Si yo supiera que no iba a salir en días de viento frío y estropearse el cutis, le mandaría un sombrero y un abrigo nuevos.
Creo, papá, que mi hermana no daría un trato tan poco cuidadoso a un abrigo y a un sombrero nuevos.
Tú siempre con tu humor crítico, Ana.
No entiendo bien lo que decís, pero en fin, explícate. ¿Qué ocurre en Kelling Hall?
Todo sigue igual. Los Croft han resultado unas personas muy simpáticas.
No, no es posible. No me refiero a los Croft, sino a que todo siga igual en Somerset. Al fin y al cabo nos hemos ido. Y Penélope dice que en las cartas de su padre siempre menciona el gran vacío que hemos dejado.
Ana nunca ha sido una gran observadora, papá. Estoy segura de que en la vecindad están dolidos por tu ausencia.
Bueno, no he querido decir que...
No te disculpes, hija. No te disculpes. Como dice tu hermana, no eres una fina observadora. Si no, te habrías deshecho en elogios sobre la casa. Como comprenderás, es la mejor de Bath. ¿No es cierto, Penélope? Sí, Hemos entrado con muy buen pie en esta ciudad. Todo el mundo quiere visitarnos. Imagínate que hemos despreciado infinidad de presentaciones.
Nos dejan tarjeta muchas personas a quienes ni conocemos.
Sí, estoy satisfecho de haber dejado Kellinghall.
Me alegra. Por un momento creí que te sería muy duro.
¿Por qué? ¿Crees que hay una cierta degradación en abandonar la dirección de una propiedad rural? Ciertamente, la echo de menos, pero...
No creo que debieras insistir en el tema, Ana. Nos hubiera gustado que trajeras noticias de por allí en lugar de nostalgias.
Ya os he contado todas las novedades. Bueno, también hemos tenido unas visitas. El capitán...
Nosotros también hemos tenido visitas. ¿No es cierto, Penélope?
Sí, y alguna muy interesante.
A propósito, no le hemos hablado a Ana de nuestro primo William.
A él me refería.
¿William Elliot? Precisamente cuando estábamos en
Es una persona encantadora. Figúrate que de paso para Londres se detuvo aquí en Bath. Y en cuanto se enteró de que estábamos nosotros, volvió atrás y dejó su tarjeta. Es una persona encantadora. Si vieras la de amabilidades y gestiones que ha hecho para que nos decidiésemos a recibirle.
Y su conducta tan franca, presentándonos excusas por todos los malentendidos anteriores.
Creí que no eran malentendidos. Antes nunca había querido visitarnos. Además están los comentarios que nos llegaban sobre su menosprecio de la familia.
Tonterías.
Todo falso. Williams nos lo ha aclarado. Sí, todo se debió a una mala inteligencia. No solo no quiso separarse de nosotros ni distanciarse, sino todo lo contrario. Me parece que siente una gran inclinación por Isabel.
Si vieras cómo se revolvió indignado cuando le hablamos de menosprecio a la familia, él que es un Elliot. La verdad es que todo es muy distinto a como habíamos supuesto.
¿Y de su matrimonio?
Naturalmente, por delicadeza, ni lo mencionamos.
En un tiempo se pensó que tú y él...
Te prohíbo que hables de eso, Ana. Si ni siquiera le conocía. No te niego que alguna vez llegué a creérmelo, puesto que él es el heredero del título, quien mejor para mantener todo como está en la familia. Ahora es diferente. Es viudo.
En cuanto a su desdichado matrimonio, ahora me merece una crítica mucho más benévola. Naturalmente, de este asunto no hemos hablado con él, sino con un amigo suyo, el coronel Wallis. Una excelente persona. Un gran amigo de Williams desde niño. La difunta esposa de Williams no era una mujer de clase, pero era rica. Se trató de un caso de seducción, naturalmente por parte de ella. Una mujer hermosa y con mucho dinero. Comprendo a Williams. Bueno, después de todo, con su muerte, todo esto ha quedado atrás. William se siente ahora muy satisfecho de nuestra amistad y cifra todas sus aspiraciones a merecer nuestra intimidad.
Ya veo que ha cambiado totalmente vuestro juicio sobre él. Lo que no acabo de entender es por qué ha cambiado el suyo sobre nosotros.
No por miras interesadas, si es a eso a lo que te refieres. Es un hombre rico y nada puede impedir que el título y Kellinghall pasen un día...
Que espero sea muy lejano.
Claro que sí, Sir Walter. Estoy segura de que Isabel no pensaba otra cosa.
Gracias, Penélope. Muchas gracias. Usted siempre es un consuelo.
Se me ocurre una explicación. Puede que primo William sienta inclinación por ti, Isabel.
¿Por mí? No lo había notado.
No sería extraño. Eres distinguida y elegante.
Es la soltera más cotizada de Bath.
Si a ti te sigue pareciendo interesante, deberías.
Por favor, Ana, no me digas lo que tengo que hacer respecto a primo William, si ni siquiera le conoces.
Nunca he hablado con él. Pero cuando estuvimos en Lyme,
El señor William Elliot.
Primo William. ¿A estas horas? Ya te he dicho que quiere entrar en nuestra intimidad. No veo nada mal en ello.
Que pase.
Sir Walter, prima Isabel.
Adelante, querido William. Adelante. Sabe que nos gusta verlo.
Debo disculparme por tan temprana hora, pero estaré toda la tarde fuera de Bath y no quería dejar pasar el día sin saludarles.
Acércate, Ana. Acércate. Querido William, me va a permitir que le presente a la segunda de mis hijas.
¿Cómo está usted, prima Ana, desde nuestro último encuentro?
Ah, pero ¿se conocían?
No exactamente. Nos vimos en Lyme.
Nos cruzamos como dos desconocidos.
No nos habías contado.
Iba a decirlo, pero nadie me oyó.
¿En Lyme? ¿Y qué hacías tú en un lugar tan desolado, hija?
Una excursión. Ya os lo había dicho antes. Con María y Carlos.
Hacían ustedes un grupo muy agradable al que hubiera deseado unirme. De haber sabido que...
Nosotros tampoco conocíamos su nombre.
Fue una extraña coincidencia. Me alegro de tener algo en común con usted, prima Ana.
Así que mi querida hermana Ana ha empleado su tiempo en correrías.
Fue una inocente excursión para visitar unos amigos del capitán Trent.
¿Has dicho Trent?
¿El capitán Trent? Yo creí que esa persona había desaparecido ya definitivamente.
Es hermano de la señora Croft.
¿Se trata del mismo Trent que conociste en Montfort? Algún día, primo, le contaré esa desgraciada historia.
Isabel, no creo que...
Oh, papá, William es nuestro primo. Y no creo que Ana conserve todavía aquella ridícula inclinación.
No conozco al tal capitán Trent, pero supongo que es una de las personas que formaban parte de aquel distinguido grupo en la fonda de Lyme. Le confieso, prima Ana, que me arrepiento de no haber preguntado al posadero el nombre de los componentes. Mi día en aquel lugar transcurrió en soledad y aburrimiento. Hubiera deseado unirme a ustedes.
De haberlo hecho, hubiera sido bien recibido.
Las convenciones me lo impidieron. Las absurdas convenciones sobre lo que es o no educado.
Poco después la conversación se generalizaba, aunque el tema de Lyme resurgía de vez en cuando, estableciendo entre William y yo una especial intimidad que desagradaba notoriamente a mi hermana Isabel. Cuando dieron las 12 y William se levantó para despedirse, pensé que nunca hubiera podido sospechar que mi primer día en Camden Place iba a transcurrir de un modo tan agradable.
It always rains in Bath.
I'm pleased to have you here with us, Anne.
Thank you, Father.
You'll make a fourth at dinner. That must be deemed an advantage. Now, I frequently observed that one handsome face will be followed by 30 or 35 flights. Once, when I was standing in a shop in Bond Street, I counted 87 women go by, one after the other, without there being a tolerable face among them. But then, it was a frosty morning, which scarcely one woman in 1,000 can stand the test of. And as for the men, they're infinitely worse. The streets are full of scarecrows.
Mr. Elliot is hardly a scarecrow.
Mr. Elliot is not ill-looking at all.
Mr. Elliot? Our cousin?
Mr. Elliot has been most attentive during our time in Bath. He's come to call almost every day. He's a most engaging friend, Colonel Wallace.
But I thought...
We may see him this afternoon, and then you shall perceive and gentleman he is.
And such fine manners. I saw him, in fact, in Lyme.
Saw whom?
Mr. Elliot. We met by chance at Lyme.
Perhaps it was Mr. Elliot.
It was.
Well, I don't know. It might have been. Perhaps.
What's the news, Sir Walter?
A concert in the assembly room. To be given in Italian. A display of fireworks. But here is news indeed. Most vital news.
Father?
The Dowager Lady de Wimple and the Honourable Miss Carteret are arrived in Laura Place.
Our cousins.
Will they receive us, do you think?
They would not snub us, surely.
If it please God, let them not snub us.
Mr. Elliot. Sir Walter. Mr. Elliot. Lady. I happen to be passing by.
Come in, come in. You do not know, I think, Mr. Elliot, my younger daughter, Anne.
Oh, but we have had a glimpse of each other, Sir Walter. On the seashore, down at Lyme. I heard of the terrible accident there after I had left. Is the young lady quite...
Oh, she's making a good recovery, I believe. Thank you, Mr. Elliot. But slowly.
Good. I'm glad. It must have been deeply distressing.
Yes.
Which young lady, pray?
One of the Musgroves, Louisa.
Oh. Farmer's daughter.
Nonsense, Penelope. She is nothing to me, indeed, compared to you.
My dear madam, you must not run away from us now. It must not be.
Please, Penelope.
Anne. There you are.
How are you, Anne? Are we greatly missed at Kellynch? But let me assure you, Bath has more than answered our expectations in every respect.
Indeed, our house is undoubtedly the finest in Camden Place.
Oh, yes. You can be sure that the acquaintance of the Elliots is most exceedingly sought after.
And best of all, Miss Anne, your cousin, Mr. Elliot, is here in Bath and is quite reconciled with Sir Walter.
Mr. Elliot?
Indeed, has called repeatedly. Has dined with us once. Evidently delighted at the distinction of being asked. And clearly places his whole happiness in being on intimate terms in Camden Place.
He has offered his most handsome apologies for any former appearance of neglect in his duties towards us.
And, Mrs. Elliot?
Dead. Quite dead.
Certainly, his wife was a nobody. Though beauty and rich. But we must make allowances. He was young and foolish.
Not anymore. Such elegant manners.
So gentlemanly and fashionable.
Indeed, I have no objection to being seen with him anywhere. That will be Lady Russell, no doubt.
No, that is Mr. Elliot's knock. I am sure of it.
I believe you are right. The poor man simply cannot keep away from you, Miss Elliot.
Upon my word, Penelope, I am scarcely aware of his intentions being beyond those of other men.
How is Mary looking? Last time I saw her, she had a red nose.
Oh, she is quite well. Thank you, Father.
My apologies for calling so unexpectedly, but I could not rest without knowing that Miss Elliot had not taken cold yesterday.
Oh, how exceedingly kind of you, Mr. Elliot.
My dear sir, give me leave to present my daughter, Anne.
But this is extraordinary. Our paths have crossed before, Sir Walter, at Lyme, not a week past. Not that I could expect Miss Elliot to remember.
Indeed, I do remember, Mr. Elliot. Very clearly.
How extraordinary that we should be guests at the same inn at the same time.
Yes, it is.
One might almost say providential.
Don't make me.
Courage, ma chérie. I'll see you tonight.
I'm so happy to see you.
What do you mean by that?
Mr. Elliot is on his way, and I want him to see what I look like next to you.
It's good to be home.
Just think. He's been nursing a crush on me for nearly a decade. Poor man, how he must have suffered.
Yes, he suffered all the way through a marriage he ran away from you to secure.
Isn't it mad? He must have presumed I was out of his league.
I can't imagine any other reason.
I'm never quite sure whether you're insulting me or not, but I value your regard so little that I don't mind either way.
Oh, Anne! Is that what you're wearing? Mr. Elliot will be here any moment.
I was surprised, Father, to learn how forgiving you've been after all he made you suffer.
Suffer?
Well, there were many insults.
He denies making them.
Father, he made them to you.
He was very strong in his denial. Oh, that's him! Get the door, Anne. Don't slouch.
Hurry up!
Gosh.
Thank you. Well, it seems like Providence plays for my team after all.
I'm your cousin, Anne.
Cousin? Interesting. It's a decided step up from passerby, but still a bit short of most beloved. But I am willing to work for my titles.
Imagine my luck. A flirt and a hard worker.
Oh, don't forget Rich.
Lucky we have you to remind us.
What in God's name is happening?
Don't worry, darling. He's just practicing on me.
Shall we?